What is up, BooTube? I know my last video, which was my theory video about who's in the grave for Arrow Season 4, got cut off. See, this is the funny thing. I record with my tablet. This thing is my tablet, and my tablet is also the source of other things, like for instance, my Skype is also on here. So, and other like instant messages and all that stuff and other video chats are all on the same recording device, all on the same tablet where I record. And while I was recording, my boyfriend video chatted me and cut off the video feed. And yeah, that's what happened. And I'm sorry it took so long. Like right now, it is literally like, right now it is like, it's literally 1:43 in the morning right now. So if you can't hear me that well and I'm not as, into it as I seem, it's because it's 1:43 in the morning and I kind of share a wall, so that's not gonna happen. But anyway, so yeah, my boyfriend, he video chatted me from his work, cause he was closing up at work, and well, it's before closing, and he was like bored. He's like, oh, I'm gonna check on my girl. So he video chats me and ruins the video. Anyway, I love you, hon, if you're watching this. But anyway, let's continue off from my last video where who I believe is in the grave, and my thoughts on who is in the grave that we saw at the 6-month time jump during episode 1, season 4 of Arrow. And what I think about all your choices for the possible person in the grave, and the recent episode, which is episode 9, showing Felicity getting shot, and my thoughts if it's linked to the grave that we saw in the first episode. Like, where I left off was the fact that in the first episode, I believe it's Arrow Season 4, Episode 1, which is titled Green Arrow. I believe that toward the end of that episode, they show a time jump, which is a little time jump ahead from the end of episode 1, where apparently there's a 6 months time jump ahead of time, and you see Oliver and Barry. Apparently, they obviously attended a funeral where Barry was somewhat late because, according to Barry, Zoom caused him to be late. But at the same time, there's a freshly, like, buried person in the grave in front of Oliver, and a lot of you were assuming, obviously it's someone from Team Arrow. A lot of people are assuming that. And the top choice, the number one choice for that was Felicity. And that number one theory of Felicity being the one in the grave, it heightened the moment people saw the recent episode, which was episode 9, because when, Oliver proposes to Felicity in public around in a campaign party, she says yes. They go in a limo. Dark sends dudes at Oliver, and they shoot up the limo, and Emily, okay, sorry. The actress who plays Felicity is Emily Bett Rickards. I believe I'm pronouncing that wrong, I'm not sure, but yeah, her name is Emily, the actress. Felicity did get shot because Oliver, after shielding her a little bit, decides to, take the wheel because the driver got shot and killed, and when he drives off, and then there's a safe place, he checks on Felicity, takes her out of the limo, and she's obviously, like, blood's coming out of her mouth, so she obviously got shot. And because of that, a lot of people speculate their main person that they believed was going to be in the grave, which was Felicity, that became more heightened. And I understand that. I mean, look, Felicity obviously got shot after episode 9. And then other people are assuming Thea, mainly because, like I said in the previous video, they assume Thea because, Oliver has witnessed every single member of his family die. I mean, him and his dad, he saw his dad die because his dad shot himself in the head so Oliver could survive. And then he witnessed his mother get murdered by freaking Deathstroke, aka Slade Wilson. So a lot of people are like, let's continue the tradition. Let's have Oliver witness the death of his sister too. And I could see that happening. And like I said in the previous video, Colton, was it Colton Hayes or Colton Haynes? Is there an N in there, or is it just Hayes? But anyway, Colton, who plays Roy Harper, has, I believe on Twitter, I believe he is let the world know, I believe on Twitter, that he's reprising his role as Roy Harper. So he's coming back. We don't know what episode, but he said he is coming back. We don't know if he's coming back for the second half of season 4, or he's coming back for a future season like season 5. We don't know, but he has confirmed that he is reprising his role as Hoy. I'm sorry, it's like 1 something in the morning. But like, he has confirmed that he is reprising his role as Roy Harper in Arrow. So he could be coming back for the second half of season 4, or maybe season 5, or any other future seasons. But some people are assuming, since Thea's one of the top people they think will die, they're assuming that's why Oliver's crying. But at the same time, Colton saying that he's coming back to reprise his role as Roy pretty much solidified Thea as a top contender on the person in the grave, because they think, oh, Colton's confirming he's coming back as Roy. Maybe Thea's the one that is in the grave. Maybe she dies, and then Roy hears that Thea dies, and he comes back, maybe gets revenge, or comes back as Arsenal, or hell, even takes the Speedy name in honor of Thea. I don't know. And so, basically, Felicity, everyone believes that Felicity and Felicity, Smoke, and Thea Queen are the top 2 contenders on the possible person in the grave that took place 6 months after episode 1. And other people have put other speculations, like some people assume that Detective Lance might be one of the people in the grave. I know that, Oliver has had like a up and down relationship with Detective Lance, but the Queen family and the Lance family, they grew up together, so obviously, despite their differences and everything that's happened between seasons 1 through 4 with Detective Lance and Oliver, their families grew up together, and obviously, like, Oliver might see Detective Lance as a member of his family too, so losing him would be bad, and he'd feel guilty, obviously, because it's Detective Lance, it's Laurel's father. I mean, Laurel went through, like, a tremendous storm believing her sister died on the Queen's Gambit, and then she believed, and she witnessed her sister fall to her death with arrows sticking out of her again. And she's been through so much with, like, the double death of her sister Sarah and all that stuff, and, her drinking and everything. Just losing her father would literally drive her crazy, and I don't blame Oliver for somewhat, he'll feel that for Laurel, it's a tough thing to deal with. And so, a lot of people assume that. At the same time, if you guys remember, well, before the recent episode, I forgot which episode, that Detective Lance decided, screw it, I'm no longer undercover. I believe he did that, but I don't know which episode. You guys could put it in the comment section. But in the first few episodes, we found out Detective Lance was working with Damien Dark, pretty much unwillingly, because Dark pretty much threatened the life of Laurel if Lance didn't help. And so a lot of people thought maybe Detective Lance might be one of the person in the grave, mainly because he's now in the beginning episodes, he was revealed to be unwillingly working with Damien Dark, and then when Team Arrow found out, they took advantage of that, and you're doing it anyway, can you be undercover with Dark for us? So people thought maybe Lance might be the one in the grave, because maybe he got caught being the double agent for Team Arrow, like being undercover there, and Damien Dark's like, nuh-uh, you're not getting information from me, I'm gonna kill you. He could just touch Quentin and he'll die, basically, right? Who knows? And then there's also the fact that Damien Dark did threaten Laurel, so maybe Laurel might be in the grave, mainly because Damien Dark did threaten Laurel's life if Detective Lance did not cooperate, so maybe she's in the grave. But so far, the top two contenders are Felicity Smoke and Thea Queen, and my third choice for me anyway, because I kind of see why people would assume Felicity and Thea as a top two. In my opinion, the third one, who has a better possibility right after Felicity and Thea, might be John Diggle. I know not many people want John Diggle to freaking die, but the fact that they just, like I said in the last video, they got his brother. His brother is alive and working for Hive. He's possibly brainwashed by Hive. And I'm thinking, because of that, maybe his brother is the cause of his death. I don't know. There could be a possibility that John Diggle might directly or indirectly get killed by his own brother. Directly, like, you know how Team Arrow believes that Diggle's brother is brainwashed. And why I say directly is, like, you know, Team Arrow thinks he's brainwashed, and maybe the brother somehow escapes Team Arrow's little holding cell and kills his own brother. I don't know. Or maybe he indirectly kills him because he works for Hive. I don't know. That's why I believe there's a possibility that Diggle might be the third up-and-coming person that could possibly be in that grave. We all know that Sarah and our Atom buddy, they're both safe because they're in Legends of Tomorrow, so it's obviously not them. And it's obviously not Oliver because, duh, he was standing in front of the grave. So we all know Oliver and Barry, they're perfectly fine. We all know that Sarah is fine. We all know that our dear sweet Ray is fine because they are on Legends of Tomorrow. So, and I'm just realizing I'm running out of time again. So I'm going to continue this even more and try to get more in depth with this. Because, pretty much in the next video, I'm pretty much going to tell you why I don't think Felicity is in the grave at the moment. I do not believe she's in the grave. There's still that possibility, but I will pretty much in the next video tell you why I believe Felicity survives the gunshot wound that she got from Dark's men in the limo, and why at the moment I believe she's safe. And I'll continue that in the next video. Bye, Boto.